Foodie Alison Roman is on a crusade to bring culinary delights to the world, one taste bud at a time.
This is brand new.
A food writer and YouTuber, Alison serves up delicious, unpretentious food.
This bolognese isn't going to cook itself.
Kind of will.
You know what? It will. It will cook itself. It's a pretty hands-off recipe.
That has made her an internet sensation, as well as a best-selling author and perfect late-night TV ingredient.
Cheers.
Express yourself. Make a design, make a pattern, a concentric circle. That's right. There we go.
Now, Alison is entering her baking era with a new project.
I wrote a book.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Sweet Enough, Desserts for People Who Don't Do Desserts is set to bring out the sweet tooth in all of us.
This book is delicious.
And she's on our shores for the first time to tell everyone in the kitchen to shake it till you bake it.
Have you maybe always wanted to make it yourself? Maybe. And can you? You can.
You definitely can. Would you please welcome Alison Roman?
I'm so delighted by myself. I'm like, that was so wonderful. Thank you.
You were that easily impressed. We just play videos of you to you.
I never watch my own stuff, so that was interesting.
Why?
I mean, do you? It's tough. It's like when people are like, oh, the sound of my own voice on the voice memo. I can't. It's like times a million when you watch yourself.
This is your first time in Oz.
It is.
Liking?
I'm loving. Yeah, I just arrived like less than 24 hours ago. Hence the like airplane voice. That's very sexy.
Oh, it sounds cool and exotic. It's very
Thank
nice.
you.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
This is your first time here, right?
Yes.
Yes. What did you think about Australian food before you got here? Because when I talk to people overseas, I'm always like, Australian food's great, and I think they just think we're eating like a sausage in the gutter or something. Like that's all we've
Sausage in the
got.
gutter, no.
What are your thoughts on Australian cuisine so
Well,
far?
nobody thinks you're eating sausage in a gutter, but we do think that you're always eating breakfast.
Yeah, we love
just
breakfast.
constant
Yes.
brekkie, 24/7.
It's kind of true.
Avocado toast every meal of the day.
Yeah,
that's what we think.
And we do it well, though.
I haven't experienced that yet, but not for, just because I haven't had the time.
Okay.
You will.
Yeah.
You will.
You are basically a millennial cooking icon.
Oh, thank you.
But I was interested to read that, you had a huge career in magazines and writing, but really it kind of took off with some cookies that you put on Instagram.
Well, they were in my first book, Dining In, and as a way of sort of like, this was in 2017, as a way of sort of trying to figure out how to promote the book, I mean, it was like a very organic situation, but had people that were making the cookies, just strangers on the internet, my new best friends, that I would just show people, these other people making the cookies. And then someone would see that and they're like, well, I want to make the cookies. And then they would make the cookies. And then it became this whole cookie movement. And what I thought was so interesting is that it came from a cookbook. It came from like paper.
Right.
Eventually the recipe was published on the internet, but I was like, wow, books are real. People read. Like, this is so cool, and I was really proud of that.
When a recipe like that goes viral, what does that mean for you? Like, what is it like to experience that?
It definitely like lives beyond you, and then you're known as like the cookie lady or like the shallot pasta lady. Like you sort of become a backseat to your recipe, which I'm happy to be. Like I don't, I'm happy for the recipes to have a life of their own. But it's great. I think the downside is people expect it of you, and so now I sort of say like I think I'm past the point of having like a blockbuster viral recipe, and now I just like hope to have a long career and like and like great books and a good collection rather than like a hit single.
Yeah. Well, does with great power come great responsibility, of course, because I couldn't help but notice that in some of that vision that we were showing you, you started off in a New York kitchen, which is tiny, but now you have access to quite a wider resource. It's a bigger kitchen.
Down the street from my old kitchen. Same kitchen. And it's actually square footage-wise about the same. It's just the layout's a bit different. I actually have less cabinet space.
Oh, really?
So it's just the layout is different. It's basically like a bigger version all around in the apartment, but like the physical kitchen, I got like a regular sized refrigerator and a regular sized stove because in my old apartment, it was very small. It was like my first oven. It was very tiny.
Well, you're here doing lots of shows all around Australia. What does that include? Does the audience get free food?
No, unfortunately, unless that makes you not want to come, and then yes. But no, it's mostly this, more me talking.
This is great.
There's audience Q&A. We talk about the book. We talk about the creative process. It's sort of up to the moderator where we go with the conversation. But, I think there's a lot of ground to cover. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of everything.
It's what you said before. You let the food have its own life.
That's right.
People
We
afterwards.
are separate and equal. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about baking with you. The new book is
Yes.
about baking, right? Now, I think baking is very difficult. I also think it's genetic. If you can't bake, you just can't do it. You'll never learn. Is that true?
That is so defeatist.
Do you think,
yes.
how would I learn to bake? How do you do it?
I think that anyone that has an interest in it can learn.
Okay.
I think that the misunderstanding is if you absolutely hate something, you're never going to want to do it, and you're
Yeah.
probably not going to be good at it.
But it's a bit more magic than other cooking. It's like you put it in the oven and then it
Well, cooking
makes
is magic
bigger.
too. Cooking is magic too. But it is. It's sort of like you relinquish a lot of control. You put something in a bowl.
Oh, yeah.
You cross your fingers. You put it in the oven. There's no. You can't like adjust. You can't like add a little more water, a little more salt, some chili. It's scary in
Yeah.
there. But I think a good place to start is with a good book of great recipes that won't let you down. So
This is exactly what
Speaking
that
of
is.
which.
Wow.
Yes.
What a segue that was.
I know. I didn't.
Professional.
No, that was that. I feel silly about that one, but yeah.
I'm excited for you to try Australian baking, though. What sounds most appealing? A lamington, a Chico roll, or a snot block?
The first one.
Correct answer.
Okay.
Alison live in Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. Her new book is right here. Sweet Enough, out now. Head to our website for details on that and tickets. Would you please thank Alison Roman?